What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So I hope you guys can hear me okay, but I think I have a pretty good video for you guys. And I want you guys to hear me out on this video. So I was gonna take, different approaches, but what it comes down to is I wanted to talk about why I think that, everyone should. Alright guys, so unfortunately when I was actually filming the video, the camera was a little bit too shaky, so I felt like the quality wasn't really there. So I hope you guys are okay with me continuing the video like this, and I'm going to keep it very short for you guys. So there's 3 reasons that I think everyone should invest in the stock market. Again, this is just my opinion. In no way does this mean that you guys have to do it this way. But one of the first suggestions that I can have, and I want to make sure that you guys all understand this, is when I think everyone should invest in the stock market, is I want to make sure that they learn how the stock market works. That's all I'm saying. So the reason or the approach that I take that I wish I would have taken when I first originally started trading is opening a paper trading account. So a simulation account or a paper trading account, you've probably heard me talk about it before if you've watched any of my videos, but it means that it's fake money, but you get to trade real-time stocks or real-time ETFs. So I don't want to get too much into that. TD Ameritrade does offer a free platform for paper trading. They give you $200,000 of fake money, and you get to trade real-time stocks. Therefore, whatever it is that you learn, you don't have to invest or risk not one penny. It's a free account, and you get to really implement what it is that you learn and test it and get your feet wet with the whole mechanics of the stock market and what it has to offer. And obviously, it's no question that you're going to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. And why not filter and make all those mistakes in the very beginning with no monetary risk? And then if you can see that you can be a profitable day trader or swing trader or whatever type of trader or investor you are in the stock market, then at least you know that you've proven it to yourself first because of how you refined yourself as a trader with the simulation account, which then you can later implement to a real account if you see value in that. So the first reason that I see potential, why I think everyone should invest in the stock market, is because you really get an understanding on how the market works and learn how to take advantage of opportunity. I think really when I originally started trading, I was trading based on other people's opinion. I was trading and trying to jump into trending stocks and using all these different kind of platforms and networking platforms that were all very manipulative. I felt like people were always trying to take advantage of one another, and it was that's why I felt like penny stocks had such a negative connotation with them because people were always trying to make money off of you, overhyping a stock. Therefore, they can make money, and then you ride it all the way down and you lose money. And unfortunately, I lost a good amount of money. But the thing that I didn't lose was, again, I don't want to pull a Tai Lopez, but the knowledge that I gained throughout that experience. I wish I would have taken the approach of simulation first, so I didn't have to lose the thousands of dollars that I did in the very beginning. But it all comes down to learning from your mistakes and overcoming them. And that's one of the best suggestions that I can have. The knowledge and the whole general understanding on how the stock market worked, you really if you get started at a very early age, those that get started when it comes down to programming, even karate or, playing the guitar, if you get started at a very early age, it doesn't mean that you have to be a complete guru. But if you're consistent and you continue to, devote your time that you have instead of watching TV to understanding how the market works, associating yourself with people that share the same interests and sharing ideas and seeing what works for each and every single one of you, then overall you'll have a better understanding on how the stock market works and how to be successful in that market. And that was one of the, I think, biggest blessings that I received when it came down to investing in the stock market. Was right away, obviously that monetary reward or compensation was not there, but the knowledge that I was able to gain and type of the understanding that I was actually grasping from investing in the stock market, I was keeping up with news that had nothing to do with what a young individual had to be doing, but I was keeping up with news because of how it affected the stocks and the different sectors that I was investing in. And I was doing so much on the back end that I was really understanding so much more than just trying to buy low and sell high, because there's so much when it comes down to investing in the stock market that you need to understand and that you need to learn. And I think investing in the stock market, especially with a paper trading account, it's free knowledge, right? As long as you're associating yourself with people that you trust and people that are there for your best interest, then it becomes just, kind of just networking with one another. And it's a type of environment that I really enjoy. Instead of just wasting time and maybe watching a TV show, you can go back and forth with ideas with people and just learning. I know that's not the most attractive for people, but that's something that I find very attractive because, that's going to get into the third point. But I really enjoyed the exposure and general understanding that I was able to grasp by investing in the stock market and how it later, assisted me in my success. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was the discipline and the structure. This wasn't until, years down the road, but I was not always continuously investing in the stock market. After I took my big loss, I took some time off, and it really came down to saving more money so I can reinvest. And then I took the approach of, paper trading or simulation trading, and I started to, test all these techniques and these styles of trading to kind of refine myself as a trader. Therefore, I built discipline and I built structure. I understood that just like when having a normal job, you don't just jump right into, the job and they're just like, okay, go do the thing, right? There's structure. They tell you or educate you for 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes, even more than that. They educate you on how to properly execute your job. And this is a traditional job. But when it comes down to investing in the stock market, unfortunately, that structure is not always there. And if you're looking for that structure, it's not very accessible because it might cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And how are you supposed to invest thousands of dollars into a market or into a course that you don't really understand that, if this is even a market that you want to invest in? Therefore, there was like this gap of knowledge. But it came down to, taking a longer period of time to, learn the mechanics of trading and learn kind of the structure and the discipline that you needed when it came down to being a successful trader, becoming familiar with trends, being able to understand like trend identification, being able to manage and learn the importance of risk management, and different. There's just so many things that you need to learn. And people think that just because you have access to the money and because you have access to the market, that you can make, what it is that I'm currently making because you have, $4,000 and you can invest $4,000 per position. It doesn't work like that. There's so much work on the back end when it comes down to actually buying and selling. That's the cake work because you already understand so much more on the back end. But obviously the discipline and the structure, I think can go much more than just in the stock market. Being able to educate yourself on how disciplined you have to be successful in the stock market. You can use it for, schoolwork. You can use it for even the, career that you're trying to achieve, even if it's not the stock market. But if you teach yourself to be disciplined and that you have to have structure in your life to be a successful day trader, you can use that same concept and being able to implement it to, growing your own business, being a successful entrepreneur, being a teacher, whatever it is that you want to be, having that structure and being able to learn that at a very early age, I think is an amazing quality or trait for an individual to have. And that's why I think, investing in the stock market can, in a sense, inhibit or act as a catalyst for allowing people to actually experience these specific traits. So that was the second one. And the third one, I think, has had the greatest approach. And I think this is why you guys are watching me today. It comes down to the domino effect, right? Investing in the stock market was something that I continuously did time after time. It wasn't for, since I originally started, it wasn't that nonstop every single day I was investing in the stock market. Sometimes, I would get very just overwhelmed because of, not seeing the return that I wanted, that I'd take some time off. But the thing that I never did was give up in this market because I always understood that it was a profitable market. Understanding that, that's all I needed to understand. I knew that this was a market that had margins of profit. I just needed to understand how to take advantage of it. There was obviously something that I was doing wrong. And if you're not seeing success, then you're doing something wrong. But it comes down to, if I'm not going to see success in 1 year, then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be consistent and be disciplined and then continue to do this time after time. But for the meanwhile, I was using the same concept of being able to, identify a margin of profit, not only in the stock market, but as well as when it comes down to the buying and reselling of different products. I started my first business and I was able to, develop these products and build value for customers and then be able to sell it. And I started it at age 14. I learned the importance of saving money, which then I was able to implement into, growing just multiple different streams of income. And it came down to the general understanding of what the stock market showed me. And because of getting exposed to the stock market at such an early age, and because learning, the importance of discipline, learning the importance of being structured, learning the importance and being exposed to understanding how the market works, I was able to understand at a very early age, the importance of having a stable income, and then not just, relying on that stable income, but looking for multiple different sources of income, which later led to my success and, the buying and reselling of different products, the buying and reselling of, cars and motorcycles, which later, led to my success in investing in real estate, and just so much more. Now I'm an individual that has multiple sources of income. I make over 6 figures, and it's not just because of the stock market, but it's an effect that the stock market had on my life. It built this structure and it made me this individual that allowed me to take advantage of certain opportunity. People labeled me as an individual that was, knowledgeable on how to invest and how to take advantage of opportunity because of the understanding that I had when it came down to investing. And that's what I want you to have. And that's why I think, regardless if it takes 1 year or if it takes, 10 years, I think, the stock market, if you take the proper approach and if you do not jump into the hype and if you really dedicate your time to be disciplined and to learn, and you're in it to learn and not just for the monetary reward, the money will come. But even if this market is not something that you see value in, then simply don't invest, $1 into it. Try the simulation trading account, but I can, really tell you that the overall outcome that I received from investing in the stock market led to my success and is, where it is because of where I am today, because of when I started investing in the stock market, because of how it structured me and how it built me as an individual. Now I have a series of businesses. I am a form of investor when it comes down to the rental properties that I own, that I rent out to a series of, my partners or just, tenants. And I've created so many different businesses and ventures on the simple idea and the simple understanding on how to invest. And I learned that from investing in the stock market. And yes, it's not a direct correlation of the stock market, but it's a domino effect. Because of the stock market, I was able to learn or have a general understanding on how to invest, and I branched off into different markets. I didn't grasp the stock market, right away, and some people do, and some people will never grasp how the stock market works. But it's at least wanting and having, the passion to want to be successful and be driven by that passion. And like I say, never invest in what you don't understand. And never invest based on anyone else's opinion. Learn the importance of managing risk and always have a plan when investing. Knowing where you're selling before you buy and knowing where you're going to cut your losses. Therefore, you know your entry, you know your exit, and you know where your stop loss is, regardless if it's mental or it's an actual stop loss that you have. That's more of a technical term. But I want you guys to understand that the stock market has so much more to offer than the monetary reward. It has blessed me beyond belief because of the effects that it's had in my life. And it's something that I wish, each and every one of you guys can experience. Regardless if you guys want to be, a preschool teacher, regardless if you want to be a surgeon, I think the structure that the stock market teaches, especially at a very early age, can refine you as a certain individual that can build so much value for yourself. And that's all I ask. I want you guys to be successful in whatever it is that you want to achieve. Just understand the importance of managing risk and being knowledgeable in the market that you choose to invest in. The stock market is not an easy market to, be successful in. There's no question about that. If it was easy, then 90% of people would not see failure, right? But it's those that really understand what it is that they're investing in and how to take advantage of opportunity that can, be able to properly identify that margin of profit, identify a plan on where to buy, where to sell, and then where to cut your losses. Understanding that, setting up a plan, and be disciplined enough to take advantage of that and to stick to that plan is a whole other thing that, plays with your emotions. But, when it comes down to, my McLaren or my Z06 or my series of rental properties or the different, ventures that I have, it was all a domino effect because of that one simple idea and that one simple decision that I made and, opening a brokerage account and getting started and investing in the stock market. But because I was driven and motivated by the idea of what I would learn by investing in the stock market, that's what I want you guys to focus on. Don't focus so much on the dollar amount that you guys are making. Focus on the percentage growth and focus on the knowledge. Focus on the knowledge that you learn from investing in the stock market and let that lead you to your success. It might not be just the stock market that you see value in, but now there's the cryptocurrency market. There's Forex. There's buying and reselling of different products. There's so many online businesses that now you can take advantage of that's so accessible. Invest in what you see value in, but learn the importance of knowledge and learn the importance of understanding the market that you invest in, regardless of what people tell you. If these markets were super easy to be successful in, then everyone would be driving a Z06 or a McLaren. Everyone would be successful, but that's definitely not the case. Why is it so difficult for people to save money? Why is it so difficult for people to spend money that they don't have and just incur a bunch of debt? It's because they're not disciplined, because they're not structured, and they're not driven to be successful. They're driven based on their emotions, and they make mistakes that are easily avoidable. And a majority of America make those mistakes. Don't be those people. Build that structure, build that knowledge, and be knowledgeable in what it is that you guys want to invest in. That's all I want for you guys. I want you guys to be successful in what you see and what you are passionate about. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. I know it's something a little bit different, but I just wanted to share my experience and kind of what has led to my success. Again, I'm not saying that the type of lifestyle that I live is solely based on my day trading type of lifestyle. It does build enough capital that, I make more money in the stock market than the average American does by simply dedicating, 2 hours a day day trading. But I'm not saying that you're going to be able to, do that, just in 1 week or even in 1 year. It's going to dedicate time. And with our community and with our group of Tech Fund Solutions, it's an amazing community that it's free, it's accessible. The link is down in the description. It's a free Facebook group. You can join if you see value, and if you don't, you definitely don't have to. But we promote a very welcoming and encouraging environment that's non-manipulative, and we're here to really support you and guide you in the right direction. We're not here to tell you what to buy. We're not here to tell you when to sell. We're not here to tell you what to invest in. We're here to share our best practices and share our mistakes in effort to promote overall group growth. So it could be, a very useless platform because we don't tell you what to do, but it could also be, one of the most powerful platforms because we expose you to all this opportunity. It comes down to you as the investor, you as the entrepreneur, and you as the person that's driven by your passion to identify what it is that you see value in and to invest in that market. So thank you guys again so much for watching. All the links are down in the description. You guys are more than welcome to schedule a one-to-one video call with me if you guys see value in that. All my links are down below. You guys can pre-order your Tech Fund Solutions apparel now. That is going to be the third link in the description. I want to thank you guys all for your time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives you and your success. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.